Good morning. This is Katie Carney, and you are watching my Flosstube number 75, and this is Katie Carney Stitching. I hope that you are all well. Excuse me. I still have that little bit of a frog in my throat from the COVID I had a month ago. This is fine. And then I also look a little bit puffy and tired because Mark and I went to the orchestra last night for. We missed 3 shows in December when I was sick. The weekend I was sick was our big trip in December. So last night was a makeup concert and we got home around 12:30 and I got up around 6:30. So I'm a little tired, but that's okay. I am recording this quick before I go to mass. My church right now is only seven-ish blocks away, so I can kind of run out and get there without a problem. So I thought that I would do this now, so that I didn't feel rushed about it later. But now I'm probably rushed about it now, but that's okay. I hope that you all had a wonderful New Year. I did. Mark came over. I made crab macaroni and cheese, and I bought the wrong kind of lump crab, which was very disappointing because it was like $30. And I got home and I was like, this is the wrong one. But what can you do? And I forgot that I use Gouda cheese when I make that recipe, and I used the called for cheese, and I just didn't think it was as good. So for next year, I have to remember to use Gouda. But he was gone by 10 o'clock, and I slept until the real fireworks, started going off around midnight. And then I slept again till the morning. I made a beautiful pork shoulder for New Year's Day, and then that was really it. Work has been really intense. It was really bad from like that week after Christmas when I recorded until really last week. It started to slow down a little bit now, but I was in on New Year's Eve, which is a Saturday and never work Saturdays. I was working late, coming in early, going in late. It was just very intense, but we got through it. And sometimes that's life. So I'm always happy to help. I love the sisters so much. So for me, it's an honor to be able to help, and I really crave being needed. So, there's that part of my personality that's probably not a great part. I saw the cardiologist, the third. Everything's great. I don't have to go back for 3 months, thank God, because I don't have the PTO to keep taking an entire day off to go to the cardiologist every month. So I'll be able to accrue some time after losing a lot of time when I had COVID. So that's a blessing. They're thrilled with my progress. Although it's funny, I was in the office on the third and I was like, yeah, I haven't had any symptoms. I started the new dose. It's great. Everything's wonderful. And then I've had 3 episodes since then. They're not bad and they go away pretty quickly. I'm used to it. Um, I think that it's been a lack of hydration. One day last week, I was like, I have to go get a drink right now. I need to fill my water bottle and I need to drink it or I'm going to faint. And I think that when you have a heart condition, you just have to be aware of those things. Because I don't want to be like Tom Hanks' character in A Life of Ott, and I don't want to have a heart attack and die. Actually, if you've seen that movie, the Tom Hanks's character has what I have. But I guess they call it broken heart syndrome. I just always called it big heart syndrome because, it's bigger. I'm like the Grinch. So I will not be seeing that movie because the last time I saw a movie where somebody had hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, it was not good for my mental health. So, that's fine. Anyway, you guys don't care about any of that. Let's talk about my stitching. So, like I said, New Year's Eve, I ended up getting called into work. I had big plans to stitch all afternoon New Year's Eve, and that did not happen. I also had big plans like take a bath and wash my hair and, the whole thing, get ready for New Year's Eve. None of that happened, but that's okay. So I had a prairie schooler Santa that I was like down to the wire trying to finish. And I cannot tell a lie. I put 2022 on my Santa as the finish, but I actually put the grapes on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. So this is my fourth prairie schooler Santa of 2022. So this is the 1991 Santa. What I do is in back stitching somewhere in the piece, I put the year that the Santa is and the year that I completed it. And I am proud to say, I'm sure there's mistakes. I mean, I know there is. There always is in my pieces. But like the jacket worked, the fruit worked, the shoes worked, everything worked. So if you see a mistake, don't tell me because I don't want to know. But I'm pretty sure that I finally made a Prairie Schooler Santa without 18,000 mistakes in it, and I'm very proud. So what I did was I did this border, and then I did like the green here and worked my way down and then up, and I guess I did the grapes, and then this was the last thing I did was that border. And when it all worked, I was so shocked because normally I do the border first so that I can get everything has to fit within those lines. But the border, because it wasn't a complete border, I couldn't do that. And I'm actually in 1992 can't do that either. So it just meant I had to be careful. So this is the last one from 2022, and I thought I would show you the others from 2022 and 2021. So I keep my completed Prairie Schooler Santas in this fake book, and I just leave it on my bookshelf. They fit perfectly. I hope you don't mind a little walk down memory lane. But this is 1988. This is the first one I did this year. Not perfect. This one is 1990. This one is 1989. And this is the one that the border was off, but I actually really love it. And then these are the four, whoops, there goes my pen. These are the four that I did the first year. And these ones I had not cut apart. So that's 84, 85, 86, and 87. They're just so classic. I have no idea what I'm going to ever do with them, but my goal is for a year until I catch up, which will take, well, let's see, I'm up to 92, 90, hang on, I'll tell you which year I'm on. I am doing them in order, just because it's easier that way than trying to figure out which ones I've missed. I am currently working on 92, actually. I just started this one. I don't have much to show, but I'll show it to you. So let's see, 92, 93, 94, 95 this year, 99 the next year, 2003, 2007, 11, 15, 19, 20. So it'll be about 9 years before I'm caught up. Hope that's okay. There's no rush. It's a lot of Santas. So anyway, my second new start of 2023 was my first 2023 Prairie Schooler Santa. I've been keeping them in this bag from the beginning. It's a pretty southern bag. I'll probably keep them in these for the next 9 years as long as the zipper holds out. I use the called for DMC. I very rarely sub anything in unless it's something I can't find or I don't have. And here is my not big start. I didn't cut this fabric down yet either. I'm sure I will. So as you can see, not much is started, but it is this corner of the border and the green around the lobster there. And that's about a half hour of work. So not even, I don't know, maybe a half hour. I do keep this with me at work, and it's like the project I keep in the car just to grab. So although at some point it will come up in my rotation, it's also just a small that I carry around because I have that goal of the 4. All right, so then I did have a New Year New Start, and it is in my New Year New Start bag, and it is, there it is. It is Lindy Stitches and To All a Good Night. I got this for Christmas 2021, and I got the called for floss. I think I ordered them myself, and I think I got this for myself for Christmas. But anyway, I love this. Really, I do. So, New Year's Day, after I made the giant pork shoulder, I got to stitching, and I worked on this from the 1st until the 9th. And I actually think I got, considering how much work I was doing, I got a lot done. So I am using a 20 count, what do they call this? It's a 20 count Ada with the dots on it. She calls for the like tiny mini dots in I think a 16 count Ada or 18, and I already had this, so it's what I'm using. So I got a bunch of the house done. I'm using one strand over one, obviously, because it's Ada. The white really does not pick up all that well. I started it with 2 strands in the white, and I was like, no, this is 20 count, you have to use 1 strand. And now I kind of wish that I would have gone with my gut and used 2. 1, because 2 is easier, and 2, because I think it would have offered me some more coverage. But we are committed now. So I worked on this until the 9th, I think. Yes, I took my New Year's holiday as the Tuesday of this week. So whatever I had finished as of that Monday night was it. So this was just over like 9 days of work. And a lot of, I really like this house because it's just big blocks of color. And I love that. So there's that. And that was like I said, my New Year's new start. And then I'm going to explain to you how I picked my next piece. But first I'm going to put this back in the bag. Oh, and I think I told you I'm using the called for flosses. And here they are, already a mess. So it's a mix of DMC and weeks. But so far I've only used 2 weeks and the DMC. And apparently I didn't do a very good job cutting the DMC. I hate kitting up projects. Hate it. Okay, so I think we talked about in my whip parade my tentative plan for projects for 2023, and that was that I want to touch all of my whips. So after my whip parade, which had these 16 whips in it and about when they started, I put them all in any order on here, 1 to 20 or 1 to 19, and then I added my planned new starts, which are George Decorates for Martha, Coffee Quaker, To All a Good Night, and Rivendell, which we had talked about. So what I did was, when I knew that I was going to pick something new up on Tuesday, I asked my Alexa, my house robot, to pick a number between 1 and 20, and she picked 7, and that's Kringles. So you can see I wrote, well, you probably can't read my handwriting. I wrote 1-7. Oh, I guess I started at 1-7. Except I didn't. I started at 1. Hang on. Let's look at the calendar and see what the calendar says. Yeah, I started at the 10th. Really rocking this planning thing. Anyway, I started Kringles the 10th, and I've gotten some good progress so far. So Kringles is a Little House Needleworks project, and it's in this adorable bag. I started this in 2021. This might have been a Christmas start last year. And all I had done when I started was the brown of the brick here and the white snow and the first dormer, the first white here. So I picked this up, like I said, on Tuesday, and I am using for this project 30 count Parisian gray legacy linen. It's a huge piece, 18 by 35. And then I'm using the called for DMC and Country Cottage. No. God, what do they call the thread? Classic Colorworks. I could not get there. Classic Colorworks. I'm using the DMC and the Classic Colorworks. And I have made a lot of progress, actually. So I finished all of the eggshell color. This is an entire skein and a third of eggshell. And I got all the way across with that. And then yesterday I started to fill in the brown. It's called like trail dust. And that's just fill in, which is great. And then my plan is to finish the trail dust and then fill in, there's these little pockets of, they're like red here, and then fill in this. And this section, the roof, will be done. Sorry about the glare. So the roof will be done. And then I'm putting it away until next time that it comes up, which it will not come up until I get through all of the numbers, all of my 19 planned whips and new starts. So I feel good about that progress. I think it'll be some real visual progress. Like I said, it's either going to be I want to get to this point, or I want to work on it for this many days. That's how I am doing my whips this year. So I'm thinking I'm probably not going to have, I don't really have anything that's close to a finish at all. I can't think of anything that's close. I'll finish a couple of my prairie schoolers and maybe a couple of the smalls. But I won't have a lot of finishes this year, but I should have really good progress this year, which is good. All right, so my next whip is knitting, and it is, I think I showed you, hang on. Oh no, oh, there we go. So I finished the first sock for my brother. Finished it. To be honest, it was ready to have the Kitchener toe done, and then I didn't have a darning needle. I had to go buy them. They're so cheap. So this is a hand-dyed yarn from a woman based out of New York, I think. So I finished the first sock, and then yesterday on the way down to Philly, I started the second. So socks are really great for driving, because, well, not while you're driving, for in the car. They're very easy to work on. I don't look at them at all, so I'm not getting car sick, because I can't cross stitch because your girl will puke in the car. And nobody wants that. I just found the pattern for the prairie schooler I finished. Got to put that with the other ones. My plan is in 9 years when I finish, I'm just selling the whole thing, all of the prairie schooler Santas in one lot. Okay, so 2 more things. This is going to be a pretty short video. I didn't have much stash because I have kind of planned out my year. There hasn't been much where I'm like, I must get this. But I did get from Rika from House of Stitch and Stash. She designed a project for her and her husband, and I just loved it. So I picked this up, and it came to me from Germany. And it's her first pattern, I think. And it's called How It Began With Us. And it said, "That's how it began with us. You held out your hand and I took it." Which is this beautiful sentiment. It is not how things worked out with Mark and I. He does not like to hold hands, but I just thought it was really pretty. So I don't think I'll start that this year. I have planned out all my new starts, but I don't have number 20. And I think it might be, there's 2 Beth Twist pieces that I've been wanting to try. One that came in the Pride and Prejudice box from Black Needle Society 2 years ago now. And then also her little house sampler. So those are both on my radar for if number 20 comes up, I think. We'll see. But because I have no chill, yesterday I literally couldn't wait anymore to see what my next project was going to be. So I asked my house robot to pick another number between 1 and 20. Speaking of, if the same, like if she picked 7 last time and she picked 7 again, I would just ask her to pick another. Obviously, since the numbers are only 1 through 20, she's probably going to pick the same number more than once just ask her for another one. These robots, they're smart. So anyway, she picked number 10, and number 10 is Celtic Autumn. I love this piece, so I'm happy to work on her. I'm using the called for DMC for her, and you'll see some progress, hopefully, next time I see you. This is the original, what she's supposed to look like. But I am using a autumnal conversion, which looks like this. And this is my oldest whip. It would be nice if I finished. I guess I do have a lot of this done. So I think what my goal for this time is gonna be is to finish the gold. I'm pretty close to finishing the gold. And then depending on how long that takes to maybe start working on this section, the orange section of the skirt that I've already started. So the last time this was out, I did this orange section of the skirt and all that gold. Because I figure if I get the gold done, I don't have to do it anymore. And because it's such an outline of the skirt, also did not leave myself much room for framing at all. So this will be a tight frame because I think I've gone pretty much all the way down. This green down here, the border there, that's the bottom of the border. So that's good. But yeah, it'll have to go pretty close to the frame. This is probably the only big project I have that is anywhere near, and it's not near a finish. She's full coverage, her body. But it's the only one that maybe I'll finish this year. So I'll probably put some real work on her more than 9 or 10 days, maybe a couple weeks. And then today, so my friend Jen, hi Jen, she's the best. I did not mail her Christmas present. Oh, I'm the worst friend ever, Jen. I'm sorry. So my friend Jen has Pattern Keeper, and she has been recommending it to me for years, I think. And I've kind of hemmed and hawed. I don't have a tablet anymore. What I record on is a Microsoft Surface, so that's technically a computer. And then I have a Google Pixel, which is a Android. It's Google phone. So I had been kicking around, thinking about getting the new Kindle Scribe, because I do like my Kindle. They're very expensive, though. And my friend who crochets was like, oh, you can put your patterns on it. And I was like, oh, that's a great idea. You can mark them off. And then I was like, Katie, for the low price of $150 instead of $300 and some, you can get a good tablet, and have Pattern Keeper, which is literally made for what you are going to use your black and white Kindle for. So I've been shopping. I think I found one. I'm going to go to Walmart after Mass and grab it. And I am going to so Jen told me that you can take your patterns, your big ones like your Miras and your Celtic Ladies and a lot of my whips, to Staples, and they will scan them onto a thumb drive, and then you can upload them into Pattern Keeper. So that is my plan for today. Because then I could work on Firefly Fairies, and maybe have it be pleasant. So I'm going to go get a tablet today. I'm going to go to Staples, and we'll see what happens. It'll be nice also. I really like that with Pattern Keeper, it'll tell you how far along in a project you are. Love that. So we'll see. I'm not investing a ton of money, more than I should, but not a ton. So we'll see. Anyway, I have to get my butt in gear and get to Mass. So I hope that you all have a wonderful Sunday and a wonderful week. I enjoyed checking in with all of you, and I love you. Thank you for your comments, your likes. Thanks for following me on Instagram, which is Katie's Stitching. Know that I'm grateful that you're here and that I love checking in with you. I'm sorry that I'm bad about commenting back. It's like a weird anxiety thing with me. I don't know. I'm weird. Anyway, love you.